Hey everybody, it's Chase with AV Pop Culture again, and today we are here to rank and count down the 10 greatest, the absolute best horror movies of all time, according to AI. So pop that tape in, I got you, let's go do this. All right, so I just had this idea. I mean, I use chatgpt to sometimes help me make like the title text for my thumbnails and stuff like that for fun. And I was putting together my rankings of Friday the 13th in honor of Friday the 13th. I'm going to do that video. It'll be fun. Got a big Friday the 13th live stream coming, a watch along of part 3. So I thought that would be fun to do. And I thought, well, I wonder if I can ask AI to rank the Friday the 13th movies for me, which I did. I wanted to see what it says. It's nothing like my rankings, and you're going to see that with my rankings on a different video. But I thought, well, I wonder what the hell these things think of the best horror movies of all time. So I asked the two biggest sources of AI out there. I asked ChatGPT and I asked Grok, however you say it I hardly ever use X, Twitter, whatever it is. But I thought that would be fun to do. I asked ChatGPT and I have both of them and they are different. And we're going to rank the top 10 based on what artificial intelligence says. And I am kind of an AI disliker overall, but it's just a fun chat. Just a fun thing to discuss, and I don't think it's completely wrong with some of these picks. It's going to make me do my own picks, but it was kind of interesting to see what it says. I know it just samples everything out there, but it's a fun conversation, so let's just see what it says. We are going to start at number 10 on ChatGPT, and number 10 for ChatGPT is 1981's The Evil Dead. So you have Sam Raimi's like grungy, very low budget horror that spawned so many sequels and a great character like Ash. Kind of hard to argue with it being on the list. A very low budget, high impact type movie that still like is spawning sequels today. So Evil Dead, I could see an argument for that to be on this list. I don't know that it would personally be on mine. I haven't done that, but that is according to ChatGPT. Now, number 10, according to Grok, is very different. It is actually Friday the 13th, the final chapter. Hard to argue. This might be the best Friday the 13th for a lot of people. For me, it's probably 2. Probably 2, maybe 3, but it is up there. It is up there. So it is definitely one of my favorites. So it's very hard to argue with this being here. Very interesting that it specifically picked this one and not like the first one or anything else. It specifically picked this one. So this is the Corey Feldman one. I actually love this one a lot. So I can't really argue it's a great horror film, but it is in there for Grok at number 10. Now, moving on to number 9, we're going to get some very different variations here, because at number 9 for ChatGPT is Jaws. Now, this is one of my favorite movies of all time. Steven Spielberg is my favorite director of all time, and I think that this coined the term blockbuster, popularized that term. Kind of hard to argue that it's just it's a perfect movie. I don't care what my buddy Brian at The Last Movie Standing says. People that dislike it for the wrong reasons. From a filmmaking standpoint, it really doesn't get any better. And the suspense, everything, the test of time, hard to argue. This would probably be on my top 10 as well. So Jaws coming in at number 9 for ChatGPT. Now at number 9 for Grok is Nightmare on Elm Street. So I kind of like, now you have both like two big franchises for Grok coming in at number 10 and number 9, because you got Nightmare on Elm Street here at 9. You had Friday the 13th represented at 10. So I'm down. This would definitely be in my top 10 of all time. Is Nightmare on Elm Street. Kind of hard to argue. Iconic. We still love it today. Nightmare on Elm Street comes in at number 9 for Grok. All right. There's some crossover between them, so I'm like setting stuff around. Now, at number 8 for chatgpt is one that I actually didn't realize I don't have until today. Actually, I think I may have it. I might be mistaken. I actually think I have it in a Paramount Scares package up there. That's right. I'm pretty sure that I do. But it is 1968's Rosemary's Baby. This is not my favorite. This would not be in my top 10. I know that a lot of people have this in their top 10. I find it slow, a Roman Polanski film. It's okay. I actually prefer the movie The Sentinel that came later that kind of still has these vibes a little bit. I think it's a better done movie. It's slow horror done well. I just wouldn't personally have it in my top 10. But ChatGPT has it at number 8. Whereas number 8 for, let me see if I can do this without messing up my stuff over here. Number 8 for Grok is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. This is a movie that I hold in high regard, but also probably would not have in my top 10. And I know that's sacrilege to a lot of people. I just find it very hard to watch. It's like watching a real life kind of like snuff film. I find it very hard to watch. I have this great 4K set here from Turbine. But I personally, because of rewatchability, all that kind of stuff, I would not have it in my top 10. But I understand 100% completely it being in the top 10. So Texas Chainsaw Massacre for Grok comes in at number 8. All right, now number 7 here for ChatGPT. We go back, and ChatGPT also checks in with Nightmare on Elm Street. It has it on the list as well. Again, both of them agree that it should be in the top 10. They just have a little bit different placement. It would be in my top 10 as well. Nightmare on Elm Street, absolute Wes Craven classic. Now, at number 7 for Grok is another absolute classic. You got Romero's Night of the Living Dead. Hard to argue what it established with the zombie genre, all the sequels that came afterwards. One of the roughest kills, in my opinion, right at the end of this thing in horror movie history. Night of the Living Dead, absolute classic. It would, you know what? It probably would not be in my top 10. It's not my favorite zombie movie. My favorite zombie movies of all time, believe it or not, is Return of the Living Dead, the 1990 version of this, and Dawn of the Dead. So this, because this would come in actually probably like 4th, maybe 5th behind the remake of Dawn of the Dead, this wouldn't be in my top 10, but I 100% understand it being there. And for, where are we at? We are at Grok's number 7, Night of the Living Dead, coming in on the list. All right, at number 6 on ChatGPT's list, this one's hard to argue. This would probably also be in my top 10, is The Shining. Kubrick's The Shining. I just gush over the filmmaking of this, how it was shot, all that. It's a Stephen King story. Very much changed for the movie. I don't care. I love the book. I love the movie. Both, which is a rare thing to happen, especially when they're so different. But the way this is shot, it's just glorious. It's a glorious 4K. The acting performances, everything about it, I love it. It would be in my top 10 most likely when I sit down to do it. But The Shining for ChatGPT comes in at number 6 on this list. Now, at number 6 on the list for Grok is another one that would probably also be in my top 10, is Carpenter's The Thing. I'm a sucker for Kurt Russell. I love me some Kurt Russell. And The Thing, got the homemade slip here. The Thing is absolute perfection. The effects in it, the practical effects, hold up today. They're second to none. I love The Thing. huge Kurt Russell fan, Keith David. Everything about this movie is for me. It would probably be in my top 10 as well. And Grok has it at number 6 all time. Now, at number 5 for ChatGPT, I got the list right up here. For ChatGPT, I told you that there was some crossover here. And ChatGPT also has Romero's Night of the Living Dead from 1968 on here. Invented the modern zombie trope as we know it, though there's some argument there, the social commentary, all that kind of stuff. Low budget, again, high impact. A masterclass in ratcheting up the tension in there with the wolves at the door, quite literally outside. Night of the Living Dead. It's hard to argue it's on there. Wouldn't be in my top 10, but I understand its placement here. ChatGPT has it at number 5. Now, at number 5 for Grok is one that would also be in my top 10, most likely. Spoiler alert, it's Halloween. They have it, Grok has it coming in at number 5, so you got Carpenter on here at least twice for Grok with Halloween. Low budget, iconic slasher. Absolutely love this movie. What else can you say about it? Michael Myers, this is just the creation of modern slashers in really, if you want to argue it that way, but Halloween would definitely most likely be in my top 10. Grok has it at number 5. Now, at number 4 for ChatGPT, we go back, and this one was also on Grok's list. ChatGPT just has it higher with Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Again, for all those same reasons, I understand it being here. I just don't get a lot of enjoyment or fun out of watching it. It feels almost too real. And so then it feels like I'm watching a real life snuff film, and I'm not like, I like the movies. Like it's hard because nuance is lost in these discussions. People are like, he hates Texas Chainsaw Massacre. No, I don't. But I don't get a lot of enjoyment out of the rewatch on it because it's very intense. I have to be in the right mindset to watch it and get something out of it. But I 100% understand it being held in such high esteem. It just would not most likely be in my top 10. But ChatGPT has it at 4 and Grok has it at 8. So it's a consensus top 10 for both of them. Now at number 4 for Grok is one that I love, and I think of it as sci-fi horror first, and so I do with the sequel because of the first one, and a lot of people argue with me on that. As much as I love this movie, I don't think it's enough horror to crack my top 10, particularly this high at number 4, but I do love the movie, and that's Alien. Grok has it all the way up here at number 4, Ridley Scott's the original Alien. The action gets ratcheted up more in the sequel, but I still do think of both of them as sci-fi horror first, and obviously I get that from somewhere because Alien is cracking the top 5 here at number 4 for Grok for horror films of all time. Definitely has a lot of horror elements. I still think sci-fi horror. So the sci-fi always comes first. So for me, that would push it out of my top 10, but I understand it's a great film. So it comes in for Grok at number 4. Now, number 3 on the list for ChatGPT is Psycho, 1960, the original Hitchcock version. I didn't realize I didn't have this movie until I started doing this list. Understand it being here. The famous shower scene, everything about it. Hitchcock is a horror, classic horror director. I actually really like The Birds. I can't say I like The Birds better than Psycho, but I don't know that either one would be on my list. I got to be honest with you, in the top 10. But maybe I'm alone on that island because Grok also has Psycho at number 3 on its list. So this is one where they tied. They both had it on their list. So Psycho from 1960, Hitchcock's classic shower scene. I mean, it's pretty iconic. Comes in at number 3 for both AI platforms on this list. And that just leaves 2, and they're not the exact same. Number 2 for ChatGPT is one that we have already talked about, and I would probably have it pretty high on my list too, and that's Halloween. Now for Grok, it came in at 5, so for both of them, it's a top 5. I would probably have it higher than 5 for me. I don't know. I promise I will sit down and do my list. Like, I'm going to do the AI ranking of the Friday the 13th movies along with my ranking in honor of Friday the 13th this week. So you'll have my ranking. I'll get around to doing, because this is going to be a very intense one to do, top 10 horror movies of all time for me. But I think Halloween would be in here and be pretty high. ChatGPT has it at 2. Grok has it at 5. You cannot argue really that it's in the top 10. And Halloween for ChatGPT comes in at number 2. Now, number 2 for Grok is The Shining. So again, we're getting some overlap on these. Stuff that appears on both lists. The Shining at number 2 is pretty high cotton. I don't know if I would have it that high, as much as I gush over the filmmaking of this and everything else. I don't know. I have to sit down, but chances are it is in my top 10 favorites of all time. I love The Shining, and I think it's kind of hard to argue against it being on the list, no matter who makes it. But for Grok, it comes in at number 2. And at number 1, they do agree. Both AI platforms agree with number 1, but I don't. I don't. This would not be my number 1. And to be honest, it's in that realm with Texas Chainsaw Massacre where I know this is sacrilege, but it may not be in my top 10 at all. But I recognize it is one of the great horror films ever made. It is intense. There was nothing like it. All that kind of stuff. Crazy filmmaking. Just great. Both platforms agree. Number 1 is The Exorcist. Got this beautiful, cool, big set for The Exorcist. But I got to tell you guys, I am not a big fan of like the kid possession. There's something about this one too that just in some ways feels way too real. I know the backstory. I know that I can't get the steelbook out. I know the backstory that it was based on a real occurrence that was written about by the priest. And The Exorcist, William Friedkin's horror classic, and Friedkin is a hell of a filmmaker. You got to be in the right mood for Friedkin sometimes. But man, the things that you see, hear, and experience in this movie, I recognize it's an incredible piece of filmmaking. I just don't know from a rewatch standpoint and enjoyment standpoint, all those other factors that come in, I don't know if it would be in my top 10, but it is a consensus number 1 for AI platforms, for the 2 major AI platforms. The Exorcist checking in at number 1. And that is the AI list. So we had some overlap. So Exorcist and was number 1 for both. Psycho was number 3 for both. They both had Halloween. One had it at 2. One had it at 5. They both had Texas Chainsaw Massacre. They both had Night of the Living Dead. They both had The Shining. They both had... Grok didn't have Jaws. Grok didn't have Evil Dead. ChatGPT did not have Friday the 13th, any of them. But there was a lot of crossover. Both with The Exorcist, both with Halloween, both with Psycho, both with TCM, both with Night of the Living Dead, both with The Shining, both with Nightmare on Elm Street. So there were 7 that crossed over. The differences were Jaws, Rosemary's Baby, and The Evil Dead were on ChatGPT, and Friday the 13th, the final chapter, The Thing, and Alien were on Grok. I think there'd be some kind of mix of those in mine, but I promised to do my top 10. I thought this was fun. I mean, overall, I don't particularly like AI. I don't like it being involved in movies, but things like this to spark discussion and just talk about movies are fun. And I thought it'd be fun to do. If you guys enjoyed it, though, let me know. You're gonna see the AI's thoughts on the Friday the 13th along with my rankings to celebrate Friday the 13th this week. But other than that, we can ask it all kinds of things and jump into it and dissect it and kick its ass if we want to. But that is what I got for you this time. Just a fun little different video. And if you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe. We do all kinds of stuff here. Lists, rankings, recommendations, videos, 4K reviews, physical media news, all that stuff from a fan and filmmaker's perspective. And if that's something you want to help support, you can also join, become a YouTube channel member, or I'd push you over to my Patreon. Both links are below. I can just do more over there and they take less. But no matter what, you're going to get your name and lights here on every single video, behind the scenes looks at my filmmaking, and so much more. And everything goes back into the channel, and I really do appreciate it. And you guys, we need to build up the whole physical media YouTube community. So you'll see on here, I'll have a card of channels that I watch and recommend. It's not exhaustive, but, build all this up. I think we're right on the precipice. I was talking to my distributor. There is a push for physical media, for studios to return to physical media that's starting to be discussed. Behind the scenes, we're seeing Vinegar Syndrome get into Barnes & Noble. There's a push back towards it. And you see Disney having to buy out Hulu and lower their prices and all kinds of stuff. Streaming's fledgling. And there's a push from some higher ups, Christopher Nolan, the director of Anora, Damon, Affleck, all these people that are pushing for physical media, Kevin Smith, all this stuff. We're at the moment, and we do have a big voice here. When you combine all these physical media channels together, we've got hundreds of thousands of followers, millions maybe. And when you're talking about boutiques only doing a release of 5,000 movies or 12,000 movies, you could see how that could have a reach. So let's push it, lift each other up, and enjoy the content. You don't have to agree with everyone all the time. I know that I'm not going to. That's totally fine. But we have a commonality of loving movies and physical media, and let's support it. So I'm going to have that on every one of my videos. And if you have joined the channel and you don't see your name, let me know. I try to update it weekly, but I appreciate all of you being here, and I hope you had a good time. But until next time, be kind, rewind like always. This is Chase with AV Pop Culture, and I'll see you real soon. Bye-bye.
I know.